Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to another installment of the What's in the Watch Roll series. Now, I love the double and triple unboxings, but this is probably my favourite series of videos because it means I'm going on holiday. I'm not sure if the Shipbox Rally actually counted as a holiday, a week in a car with Mr. X. More of an experience than a relaxing time, so I'm really looking forward to this one. If not perhaps looking forward quite as much to dealing with Jomwa Jr. on a plane. The whole Jomwa family are off to Hamilton Island, just off the coast of North Queensland, for hopefully a little bit of winter sunshine, and we are going as guests of my good friend Ashley over in Melbourne. Ashley and his family have booked an apartment for a fortnight, and they very generously invited us to join them for a few nights in the second week. I'm looking forward to seeing Ashley and his wife, chatting about watches, no doubt, and the whole island is car free, so Jomwa Jr. can run amok in relative safety. As usual then, I have curated a very specific selection of 4 watches to bring along with me, all stuff that I think Ashley will enjoy borrowing while I'm up there. Now, he has an eye for retro and an eye for the unusual, and I'm not short of either of those things in my collection. Let's flip the camera and see what I'm taking. Alright, usual What's in the Watch Roll format, 3 in the roll itself, 1 on my wrist. Now obviously, as stated, I'm taking stuff that I think Ashley will enjoy borrowing. I'm also taking a couple of new pieces, brand new to the channel, give me a chance to test ride them before the review, which I also think Ashley will enjoy borrowing. One of which is the Momentum Sea Quartz. Now, you may or may not have heard of the Momentum Sea Quartz. It may look familiar if you were a fan of Magnum PI. Magnum Tom Selleck, most famous for wearing a Rolex GMT. However, in the first few seasons, he wore one of these, or I believe it was a Chrono Sport Sea Quartz. Now defunct, however, one of the owners, the old owners of the Chrono Sport company, resurrected the design as Momentum Sea Quartz, now based in Canada. I pre-ordered this one, I think it was in March or early April. I saw it pop up on Instagram and I decided I needed one of these for myself, and it arrived a couple of weeks ago. And it's all right, isn't it? Late 70s, early 80s diver, kind of cushion style case. I would say it is probably on par with the Steel Dive Willard, maybe actually a little bit smaller overall. It certainly looks and feels a bit smaller. Jubilee bracelet, and we've got a fairly sizable chunky clasp, but with heaps of micro adjust. Now, I don't normally do this with What's in the Watch Roll videos, but today I'm going to make the exception twice. Magnum wore his on a tropic strap, and who am I, etc, etc. So I thought I would take this branded Momentum tropic strap with me on my travels as well, and a spring bar tool, and I will swap back and forth over the course of my holiday. Looks really good on the tropic, I have to say. The slightly photinaed numerals and that orange hand. Yeah, I think it is a rather attractive watch. Day-date complication and quartz, as you can clearly see, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, it's a sea quartz. It's a 70s, 80s diver. A lot of them were in fact quartz. I'm increasingly buying quartz if it's for me, if it's for stuff that I think I will keep long term, because you need to adjust this once a month to set the date. You don't have to pick it up and wind it every single time you get it out of your box, which, if you have as many boxes as I do, is a real advantage. So watch 1 then, the Momentum Sea Quartz. Watch number 2, it doesn't get out of the house all that often, but it's coming up to Queensland. It's my Gerlach Cosmonauta LED space watch. If you aren't familiar with the story of this one, I'll leave a link to my original review at the end of the video, you can check that out. It was worn by a Polish cosmonaut on a Soviet mission to space at some point in the early 1970s, become a bit of a legend, and was re-released by Gerlach a few years ago. Quite practical though, actually, with sapphire crystal and a proper 100 meters of water resistant stainless steel bracelet. Not all that practical in other ways though, I will admit. The most obvious of which is you need 2 hands in order to tell the time. I know Ashley has a penchant for these LED watches, so I don't think he's had a shot of a Gerlach before. I'm sure he will enjoy this one. I have taken it on my travels before. As you can see, it's got a few scuffs and scratches. It has definitely been worn. That is still the original battery though. I've had this one for 3.5 years, so it's doing well. Perhaps that suggests that I haven't pressed that button quite as often as the average user has. I have taken it on my travels before though to use as a kind of left field evening wear watch, and I guess that's the role it will fulfill in Hamilton Island. Alright, watch number 3 is another watch that hasn't seen much time out of the house since it arrived in the house. It's a Phoebus Eagle Ray GMT. Now, Ashley is the moderator of the Phoebus Watches Facebook group, and I reckon he has seen just about everything they have produced since they started as a brand maybe 7 years or so ago now. So have I, to be honest, and I think this is one of their very best. Really interesting styling, kind of steampunk, octopus, Roman numerals, internal bezel, quartz GMT, great size, and another watch on a tropic strap today. Another reason why I really enjoyed this watch at the time that they released it is because it wasn't expensive. This was under $250 US. Now, I appreciate it's quartz, it's a Ronda movement in the back of this one. If it had been released in 2023, I'm sure it would be Seiko NH34 powered. But there you go, there is definitely something to be said for having a few quartz pieces in your collection. Yeah, nice matching hardware, nice comfortable NATO strap, though probably not quite as comfortable as the Momentum one. So there we are, watch number 3, quartz number 3, diver number 2. It's a super cruisy beach holiday, so everything I'm taking with me has at least 100 meters of water resistant. I just don't know when I will be leaping straight into the nearest sea. And hey, I could do that with watch number 4 if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. It's a Nomos Club Campus in glorious orange, a new arrival. You can expect to see a comprehensive review of this one on the channel, perhaps in August, along with the Momentum Sea Quartz. A watch I have long admired. I reviewed the Nomos Club Campus back in 2018 and said it was my grail watch. It was the first watch on my list for 2019. Didn't quite happen, but here we are, finally in 2023, and I managed to get my hands on one. Now, rather unusually, I haven't taken the case back sticker off. That is a shiny, high polished case back. Quite often these are bought as graduation gifts and they are engraved with the congratulations and your graduation date or something. Maybe I'll do that with mine, self-congratulatory. Maybe I won't. I just thought I would preserve that shiny case back for a little while longer. You probably saw it's on a Barton Elite silicone, but it's not the only strap that I've got for it. It does give me a viable waterproof option, doesn't it? And it looks incredible with that double orange, kind of orange and pumpkin. Now, Ashley has got a thing for orange because he drives an orange Subaru WRX and he has picked up a number of orange watches to complement it. I reckon he might be a fan of this one. It actually comes supplied as standard on this anthracite velour strap. I picked it on the sport bracelet. I'm not taking the sport bracelet with me to Hamilton. I will show you it in the full review. Plus, I ordered a brown shell Cordovan Horween also, so I ordered a bunch of straps for this one. Directly through Nomos, looks great on that. It's not quite black, that kind of dark grey touch of brown there. The dial just pops. I love the orange. So a number of years later than advertised, but I finally have a Nomos in my collection, and what a Nomos. So there you have it. That is my selection of 4. Those are the watches that I'll be taking with me on my trip to Hamilton Island next week. I leave on Tuesday and I'm back on Friday. Plenty of videos scheduled to upload in my absence. If you guessed correctly that I was going to take a Momentum Sea Quartz, a Gerlach Cosmonauta, a Phoebus Eagle Ray GMT and a Nomos Club Campus in orange, buy yourself a lottery ticket. I don't think those 4 watches have ever been in the same place at the same time before. Perhaps they never will be again. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. While you're here, why not check out the original review of the Gerlach Cosmonauta or my review of the Nomos Club Campus from 2018 when I said I was going to buy one in 2019. I'll see you again in a future video, I hope.